everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we're gonna talk about party games that don't suck. We don't want you to be bored sitting around your table playing the same game for the 20th, 30th, 40th time ever. And we've come up with a few alternatives that we absolutely love.
Let's dive in. Alright, first up, in no particular order, we have Strike.
I love this game.
Yeah, Strike is great. And if you watched our video from last week, this is one of the games we mentioned that you can teach in under 3 minutes, which is one of the reasons I love this. You're basically chucking dice and trying to be the last person standing with your dice in hand.
Yeah, it's like a little arena and you're trying to get matches. So if all the threes get in there, then you take all the threes and your turn ends.
Yeah, and the setup in this game is so fast.
The board, 2 seconds. Here's your dice, here's your dice, here's your dice. Boom.
The board is the game box, and it's just dice. You don't have to worry about messes, which I think is great for a party. And the age range that can be taught with this is like, we've taught grandmas, we've taught 7-year-olds, like everyone can learn how to play Strike.
That is the biggest win for Strike, absolutely. Next up on our list is Codenames, which you may have seen Codenames Duet from our top 10 board games for couples video. That is a cooperative game. This is a competitive game where 2 teams go head to head trying to compete to guess words with cryptic riddles and clues. So there's a grid of words. Some of them are for my team to guess, some of them are for the other team to guess, and I'll use a clue that may pertain to 2 or 3 of those words, and you'll try to guess which ones I was talking about. Now, the Disney version shows a bunch of pictures from Disney films. It's a lot of fun to play with the whole family, and this is a great way to get the younger kids involved too.
All right, next up on our list is for your fancy color people, and that is Hues and Cutes. Now, this I would say is kind of like the cooperative version of Codenames, but in colors. So the person is given a color, and then they're trying to describe to the rest of the group with one word what that color is.
Yeah, I might have like a pink and I might go flamingo.
Yes, and so you're not just, as you can see, you're not just dealing with like pink, it's like tons of different shades. So this is for people that have an appreciation for all of those different colors or find it fun to try and guess it.
In the second round you get to use 2 words, so if you're going for that dark blue and you can say starry night or something like that, you know, you might be able to do really well at this if you're like big art aficionados. Alright, next up on our list is So Clover, which is another word association game with a really nice twist to it. Word games are so fun for the family and for groups and for large groups of people because you can collaborate and try to think, oh, does that mean that? Does that, oh, yeah, maybe that's what that means. Basically, you've got these 4 cards that rotate in all 4 sides, and around the outside of your clover leaf, you're writing a 1-word clue that pertains to the 2 words facing that side. Then you're gonna take all those cards off, you're gonna throw in a 5th wild card that's just gonna throw people off, and then you're gonna put them out for the group, and they're gonna try to put the cards in where they go on your clover leaf to try to figure out what words you were talking about with your clues. It's very fun. It's this sort of cooperative, semi-cooperative game where everyone's got their own clover leaf. Really, really enjoy this game.
So next I want to jump into 3 other games that we don't have with us, but it would be a shame to not include them in this list.
Yeah, they're good.
So one of those is Hive Mind, which is a game where you're trying to think collectively as a hive. You're all playing honeybees, and let's say the clue was name 5 colors, and you're trying to match with other people those colors. So you have to think collectively as a hive and remain in the hive without getting kicked out. And that game is currently by Calliope Games, but it's currently out of print. But I just talked to them and they say they're currently working on a new one, a new remastered version. Second edition. So I'll let you guys know when that comes out. Another one that's similar to that is called Blank Slate, which is a very popular party game where you're trying to guess like the second best answer, like not guess what everyone else is guessing, but try and match up with one other person, and that's how you do really well with that game. And the last one is Just One.
Yeah, basically somebody has to guess a word from a card. They're like number 2, which is basketball, and so everyone is going to come up with a clue. You know, it might be LeBron, it might be Bugs Bunny, and that's 2 words. I don't know. Basically, they're going to come up with clues, and if any 2 clues match, those clues go away. You can only have 1 of each clue. So you're trying to get a diverse set of clues so that you can guess what the word is. Next up on our list is Werewords, which, yes, if you have played One Night Werewolf or One Night Ultimate Werewolf, any of those games where there's some werewolves, there's some seer, there's some like villager action going on, this is in the same vein as those games. However, there is a twist. So now it is 20 questions where you're trying to guess a word. So is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a thing? You're asking all these questions, and the town mayor is telling you yes, no, yes, no. Now the trick is, among the people guessing, one of them is the seer who has seen the word, and one or more is a werewolf who has also seen the word. And the werewolves are going to be trying to guide everyone away from answering the question correctly. So they're just going to be throwing questions from left field. It's so great.
Yeah. I like this one. See, I will play this one over One Night Ultimate Werewolf or just Werewolf in general. This is definitely my go-to pick if I'm going to play the Werewolf universe games.
Yeah, there's kind of some more skill to it. And I think like what's also funny is at the end of the game, if they do successfully deter them from guessing the word, you get one chance to guess who the werewolves are, and if you can figure it out, then you can still win anyway. Hey, we thought this was a good place in the video to tell you about something very related to party games, and that's how to get them to where you're going. So whenever we travel with party games, we put them in a game bag, and there are a lot of game bags that we like. I wanted to tell you about one in particular that I think is going to be really good for the games on this list, and that's this miniature market bag. It's like a 2-game bag that you can get over the shoulder from their store, super affordable. I would highly recommend checking it out. It's got two completely zipped separate component containers with their own like padding, so it's very protective. Your games are not going to get dinged in this. And in addition to that, if you have books or if we're playing Werewords or anything like that, we'll bring the iPad. We put that in this like front pouch here. It is awesome for carrying games. So I just want to take a moment to talk about that. We love what Miniature Market does. Yeah. We love these bags, so check them out.
And this, Jonathan really does use this. Just the other day, I was organizing the closet and I was gonna put this bag in a separate closet in the back of the apartment, and he was like, no, I use it all the time. Put that in the front closet. So it's literally
it's in our coat closet.
It's in the coat closet, so he has immediate access to it as he's walking out the door. That's how much he likes this bag.
Yeah.
Now back to the list. All right, up next, it's like Pictionary, but better. And that's Telestrations. Now, this is basically, it's called the telephone game, which it is with pictures. So what you do is in this game, you have a word and you draw a picture for that word. You pass the notebook to the next person and all they see is the picture. And they have to try and guess what your word is. And you go around the whole circle and you get back to the end and see how close your word was.
Yeah, so it goes word, picture, word, picture, word, picture.
Now, I like to say this game is you have to play with the right people.
So important.
If you are all like fantastic artists, then I would not recommend pulling out Telestrations. But if you throw a grandma into the mix and like a 7-year-old, then Telestrations is absolutely hilarious. It's one of my favorite party games to pull out with family. It's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. They also have a bunch of expansion packs. We got this 80s, 90s expansion pack from the op. It's all stuff like, what do we got? Big League Chew, Happy Meal toys, Lunchables, just Backstreet Boys, funny stuff like that, which I think is going to be really fun with the right family.
Up next is a new party game, but it has now moved into one of my favorite party games by Resident Games, and that is Phantom Ink.
Yes, in Phantom Ink, there are 2 spirits communicating with their mediums. And again, we have a hidden word, but this time we have one hidden word for both teams. And you're going to have a series of prompt cards that each team mediums will have. And they are going to be handing 2 of those prompts to their spirit. One might say, like, what sound does it make when it hits the ground? What does it taste like? How big is it? Could it fit in my car? And so the spirit's gonna pick one of those to answer, and they're gonna hand it back to their mediums. And then they're going to slowly start writing S, O.
Yeah, and then spooky voices aren't required, but they do make it a lot better.
They do make it a lot better. Anyway, so the trick with this game is that they are trying to write as few letters as possible to give the answer to the team. Because while the other team did not see what the prompt is, they get to see what the answer is, and it also pertains to the same word that they're trying to guess. So they don't want to give too much information to the other team by way of their clues. If you say spicy and you make it all the way through the word, that's kind of helping the other team.
That's the trick, is that you can stop. Once you think you know what the word is, you say stop. And so you might only get... silencio. You might only get one letter, and the other team's like, what? What I would say is a great mark of a party game is that when you play with a new group of people, when you finish playing, they say, how do I get this game? Where do I buy it? Yeah. And every time I've introduced Phantom Ink to a new group, they always say that. They always want to buy it.
All right, next up on our list, this one literally says party in the name. It is Sushi Go Party. Yep. So have you ever been to one of those sushi restaurants where they got the belt or the boats that go around and you take some sushi down? This is that game. So you have a hand of cards that's a bunch of sushi. You're going to take one down, pass them around. And so you're going to be going in a circle like, I'll take that tempura, I'll take that sashimi. And at the end, it's a set collection thing where it's like I get 5 points for every 2 tempura I have, 10 points for every 3 sashimi. So it's all these multiples, and you're trying to collect the best meal of sushi. You do it over 3 sort of courses where you're collecting desserts along the way, and those get scored at the end. It's a great fun game for large groups of people. What I love about this is you only need a few people kind of at the table to really get what's going on, and they can help everyone else around them.
Yeah.
It's all simultaneous play, which is really cool.
Out of all the games on this list, I would say this is if you're gonna say heavier, this is like the heavier game on this list.
Heavier teach for sure.
Heavier teach, like you need to pay attention more. But then once you get what's going on, it's very fast paced, and you just kind of keep playing it.
Now, if you're looking online for this game, you may see there's also Sushi Go. It's a smaller box. Sushi Go Party really just means you get a lot more sushi cards. So there's a lot more ways to play, a lot more menus you can exchange in, and I highly recommend it because it just is going to increase the longevity of the game. And I think that this is one of those games where you want to have a lot of options, so it's not the same thing every time you play.
Up next on our list, the instructions are in the title, and that is taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza. Now, this is a little cute, small game, but it packs a punch. This game is absolutely hilarious.
Yes, it's also one of our 2 speed games on this list.
True. Speed games. So you're basically, it's kind of like slapjack on steroids, would you say? Yeah. So you're putting down cards, and whatever you say, you have to say taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza. And if you put down a card and it matches what you say, then everyone at the table is going to try and slap it. So everyone's going to be slapping the table.
So taco,
yeah.
boom.
And then they throw in some other things. So
That's
if you have like a card that says gorilla for the gorilla, and then narwhal, and then what is it, like a chipmunk? Groundhog. Yeah. So this is a fast-paced game that everyone can get involved with. I love this game. And one caveat: make sure everyone cuts their nails before they play. Injuries may occur. And this is by Dolphin Hat Games. And the last one on our list is also by Dolphin Hat Games.
Gimme That!
And that is Gimme That. So Gimme That. Gimme That.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this one's in shrink. Our other copy is at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Because they loved it so much. But it is a speed game where you are trying to count spuds. So everyone has a sheet of paper with 100 spuds on them, and you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're counting them by you're writing the number on the potatoes. Now, while you're doing this, somebody has a die, and they're chucking that die, trying to get some fun things to happen. So the trick is only one person has the pencil. Now, whenever you roll that die, you have a chance to steal that pencil. So you say, "Give me that," and that's your pencil now, and you start writing. It could also be crazy stuff like the whole table rotates, and now the person to your left has your sheet, and you have a brand new sheet where you're starting 20 numbers back. Yeah. Maybe starting 80 numbers forward. So
we did do a whole review on Gimme That if you want to see like a full review over this. Now, the people over at Dolphin Hat Games were super nice, and they sent us 2 copies to be able to give away to you guys.
2!
And so the way that we're going to do this, that's upside down. The way that we're going to do this is I want you to comment down below your favorite party game that is not on this list, so we can keep adding and growing, and we can learn about them too, and others can learn. And then we'll put them into a drawing, and I will put when we will draw that right here, and then we'll be giving away 2 copies of Gimme That.
Yes, you'll want this one. It's super fun.
All right, everyone, and that is our list of party games that don't suck. I hope you found some new ones to be able to pull out this summer and play with all of your friends and family. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time.
Happy playing!